Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to African Travel and More. Tonight, I have something a little bit different for our live. Okay. So, welcome if you are tuning in from Facebook. Welcome if you are tuning in from YouTube. I just thank you for joining me this evening. I have a guest with me, another fellow educator who's going to help give some tips on how to help your child to be successful in the virtual learning environment. So that's kind of what we're doing tonight, something a little different. If you don't know, usually I talk a lot about African travel. At this point, I've traveled to over 15 African countries, and I share that knowledge through videos and weekly live chats that tell you about different African countries that I've traveled to. So if you are new to this channel, I would ask that you subscribe. If you're returning, I thank you for subscribing, and have no doubt, I do a variety of things here. And tonight, you will see, I'm going to give great information on how you can help your child to be successful in the virtual learning environment. So right now, and how I can do that is I'm a teacher. Okay, that's my day job. I actually teach. I teach high school, and I happen to be a resource specialist. So I work with children who have special needs, and I've been doing that for many years. Okay, in the public school system, and as a matter of fact, this year is so different for me because I actually feel like a first year teacher having to learn all of this technology and all of that. And it kind of got me inspired to start my YouTube channel. So I thank all of the subscribers. I met 1,000 subscribers last Friday. So I thank you for subscribing to my channel and supporting me. And yeah, I'm just going to keep doing my thing, telling everybody about the beauty of Mother Africa and telling you how you can just either travel there, giving you that information if you want to relocate or repatriate, as we say, just, sharing that knowledge with everyone. But like I said, tonight we're going to talk about education and how you can support your child in the virtual learning environment. And I know that has to be on everyone's mind. At first, when it first happened back in March and we went into virtual learning because of the pandemic, we just had to, of course, younger teachers were just on it with the technology. Mid-year or whatever you want to call it, middle age, people who were not as tech savvy as others had to catch up and learn. So we were able to do that. So I have an exciting guest, another educator tonight with me, and she's going to come on and help me share some of the ways. And what I'll tell you is in the description links, I have her information for her website, and also the information, the tips that I'm providing tonight will be in my description link. So description link, yes. So you'll be able to check that out, and you'll be able to, I also provide over 20 resources that are websites that you can have your child visit, and it can help to supplement their learning. And I know you probably say, oh my God, not more website. But you know what? technology and learning online, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. Before we had to do it online because of the pandemic, you already had schools that were very, very successfully delivering education, especially to students with special needs. Okay, a lot of through the years, I've had students who have opt out of public education to do, um, say, the online education because of the service that's provided, because of that individual need. And truthfully, all children need it. So, without further delay, and me talking, I have Chrisanda Allen, and I'm going to bring her on, and she's going to share with you her science program. Her background is science, and so yes, so I'm going to bring her on so she can share that. So, if you would welcome Sandra. Hey.
Greetings, everybody. Great evening.
Great evening. How are you?
All is well. Everything is everything, as we say.
It sure is. I'm so happy it's Friday, but I'm even more happy that you're joining me today to
Yes,
talk
thank
about,
you.
to drop this knowledge for parents, because all I see are posts on Instagram saying, "Ooh, take my child." Oh, I see too much. Ooh, it's too much. But
Yeah.
we have something tonight to share with them. I have like some tips to give the parent, and I've also placed those tips in my description links, and also I place your website in the description links. So far, how is it going with you with this pandemic and teaching? What's it doing?
Well, yes, Yolandra. Just some snippets. I things are going slowly but surely for me in my
Mhm.
personal life.
Okay.
Just like all the other parents out
Yeah.
there, it's an adjustment. But I have to say that the things are picking up. The speed
Yeah.
is picking up. The momentum is picking up on my personal side, and I'm really excited to embark on the next phase of my journey. In a
Yes.
nutshell.
Yes. Okay, listen. So I don't know if I should go through my tips first or should let you share about your what do you want to do?
Let's just discuss in a nutshell, like what are the people saying? What are the parents saying? A little
Yeah,
bit about
okay, that's good. Because you know what? That really is. So
it
okay,
matters.
so last night I had it's really weird, but I had conferences that were either by Zoom or phone conference. And
Yes.
so a lot of my parents, they're just like, they don't know. They're like, what is this? How long, are can the kids really learn? You know, a lot of the students are like, because even like I say, high school, miss, how long are we gonna hey, I
Right.
want to go back to school because in high school it's about that social aspect. They want to socialize.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for students who are say the elementary school, oh, those babies, they're done. It's funny, like I said, the kids
True.
get the technology part better than some of us get it. It's just that it's a new way, and it's stressful for parents who are balancing
Yes.
work and say if they're working from home too. But I will tell you
Mm-hmm.
this, from a lot of the say teachers that I know who are having to do this, it's a lot of amazing teachers that are doing some incredible jobs, and people are not going to know about that because it's the negative part that we hear, that
True.
it doesn't work. And I know that that's not true, because
Mhm.
students before, I mean, online school has been in operation for years now. As a
True.
matter of fact, I almost took a teaching online gig a
Ah,
couple of years back. In addition to, because it's needed, because my area is special education and they need teachers to in that area. But
yeah.
yeah, that's what it's a mix. It's a mixed bag. Some people are like, yes, this is the only way to do it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to send my child to school. Others are they want to, but for the most part, parents right now, I think these tips will come in handy for them
Exactly.
because it's
Yes.
something that, especially the resources. So, like I said, it's over 20 resources that I placed in the
Absolutely.
description link. And so one of the first things that I wanted to talk about for the tips that I have, if I can just do that, and
Yeah.
then share your little good tidbit, is that these are a few of the tips to promote successful learning. So the first thing is to establish a routine.
Yes.
Establish routines and expectations.
Yes.
You have to do that. Even I had to do that. Teaching online, I couldn't just say, "Oh, I'm going to teach from my bed." There's no way,
Right.
no way. Because if I'm teaching from the bed, I'm probably falling asleep. So you
True.
have to you have to establish this routine that your child knows that, okay, we're gonna have breakfast. We're gonna
Yeah.
do yoga, or we're gonna take a walk, or we're gonna do this. Then we'll do the learning, and we're gonna sit
Exactly.
at the um, kitchen table, or we're gonna sit at wherever
Mm-hmm.
work. And routines have to be established. So that's the first thing. And
Yes.
so the next thing that I put is to reduce distractions.
Truly.
Please reduce those distractions, especially for my students who, have ADHD and everything else. And just period, even for myself, I need
Mm.
to have those distractions reduced so I can focus on what the teacher is saying in that Zoom instruction, right?
Yes, truly.
You have to be able to reduce the distractions. And then something that is helpful for me is to not reduce, excuse me, is to take brain breaks.
Yes.
Please, please let your child have a brain break. That may
Mm-hmm.
look like standing up to stretch, walking outside to get a breath of fresh air, maybe doing some running in place, like
Yes.
I said, maybe stretching. It may look like playing video game for
Mm.
about 5-10 minutes, but to
Yes.
me, to me, that's not a brain break. A brain break is when I don't have to look at the computer.
True. Yes.
Okay, so that's in this for me in this aspect. So the child, I would say, give them brain breaks from that online learning, just so they can refresh. Maybe they have a snack and then they go back to it. Yes, and something else. The next tip is has to do with time management. That was big, big for me because I had, oh my gosh,
What's that?
oh my gosh, the first thing I'm going to tell you this, the first couple of weeks of this online, oh, I was working until like 9 o'clock at night,
My goodness.
answering emails. And so
Mm-mm.
my husband looked up, and I think I was, because usually I cook because I love to cook. That's my break.
Ah.
One night, dinner didn't get served until well after 9 o'clock.
Whew. You're
Man,
not happy about that, I'm sure.
so time management is a must.
Mm-hmm.
You must manage that time with this online learning. I also, like I said, in the description links, I actually have something that's like looks like scribble that's drawn out by a student, and it's a schedule. So the schedule is really needed. High school students can write a schedule. Elementary can too, and you just list like when you're in class, when you're going to study, when you're going to take a break, when you're going to, just do whatever. You have to have time management tips. I had to have time management tips because if not, I was working well past 9 o'clock at night. And that had to stop because you have family time, right?
Right.
So the next thing that everyone needs right now is some positive feedback and some encouragement. Please encourage your child, have positive feedback for them. That's something I'm heavy on right now. Encouraging my students with positive feedback, because you don't know what's happening right now. And we're all having to be, working from home with each other. So we need some positive feedback is what it's going to take to get through this, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And then I know you know this one because this is an educator thing. Checking for understanding.
True.
But you know what?
Right now.
It is because checking for understanding looks different for parents. And I know you can say this. Checking for understanding just means you're going to ask your child if they know what they're doing and kind of frequently check for that because you don't want to just leave them there independently and thinking that they know, and then you come back maybe 45 minutes later and you're like, well, what are you doing? You're still on the same thing because they probably didn't get what it was. So it's a lot right now, but hopefully these tips are going to help parents because I can just imagine. And something that I know is really important to the kids, please help the children to stay in touch with their friends right now. By Zoom or, however, help them to stay in touch with their friends because school is the most important thing for children in school is that socialization component. They love to socialize. And right now that's missing. So they're like, hey, and Zoom. So a lot of teachers are setting up the social breaks and kind of what you're doing is a social thing. So in a little bit, you're going to tell about that because that's that social aspect. Please, 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 please let the children socialize because they need it right now.
Yes.
And another thing, parents, please reach out to the teacher. Reach out. Let us know. Don't hold back and wait. Tell us, email. I just gave my cell to the parent and they just text. Reach out to the teacher if it's something that your child is not understanding. If it's something that you need, reach out because the teacher's going to get in touch. Right now, as a teacher, we're just like finally, I would say for myself, I've finally gotten into a groove of where it's like, okay, my time management is synced, my schedule, okay, bam, bam, bam. I know I need this. And with as a special ed teacher, as a resource specialist, we have to like get that paperwork done.
Yes.
Paperwork is like, but what I tend to do is I focus on students first because that's important. That trumps all paperwork. If I can use it like that, kids are first. So that is to me that's the number one tip that I would have for parents is to reach out to the teacher. When you have a question, reach out to the teacher. And I don't See, I'm because I will talk, talk, talk. I don't see any questions from the people that are like in and out. But what you're doing is really cool. I like it. With science and all of that good stuff for the kids. And I had some other things that I was going through, but I'm kind of like hogging the the talk time. And
Vibing with you. I think we're all
yeah,
vibing with you.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, because yeah, I really love that you have created science. And how does that work? How what does that look like with the kids? Because
absolutely. So the way that I'm re-establishing the way I teach science
mhm,
in this pandemic atmosphere is
mhm,
just bridging. First of all, I have to say our home life and our outside world have collided in
mhm.
ways that we have not experienced before.
Never, never.
And I wanted to share, before I get into that, I wanted to share one tip for the parents
Oh yes,
way
yeah.
into the question you asked me.
Mhm.
So, never before has it been important for you to be involved in your child's education. This
Right.
pandemic is forcing us to be not only more involved, but be more proactive.
Yes.
Uh, that bridge, that parent, child, school kind of
Hmm.
triangle,
Yes. It's
we
great.
we as parents have to be pulling our weight these days. And
Oh
if
yeah.
we don't, you're going to see it because
Yeah.
you're not only going to physically see it because you're with your child or a
Mhm.
representative with your child, but we are now forced into our own personal spaces for a lot of us scholars that are still at home.
Right.
And like you said, those distractions can get in. There's parts of our learning that
Yeah.
now we as parents are in control of.
That's right. You know what?
So
Say that again. You can
with
repeat
that,
that
like,
again.
absolutely. Like
Yeah.
now, if we slacking, we can't hide it anymore, because
Uh-oh.
that learning atmosphere
That's right.
is now a part of where we live and what we
That's
see. So
that's
now's the time to put away the pride, to know as a parent what we are good at and what we're
hmm
not good at. Be
that's right.
responsible, be more an advocate for your child,
That's it. That's it.
uh, because with this, some of the things that I'm hearing parents say is the some things that we as parents cannot control is what the teacher does and doesn't do. That may be good for a child and not good for a child.
Right.
So, for instance, like you were saying earlier, we can control the distractions in our learning environment,
Mhm.
set up, and what you said was so important. How you start your day, your morning with or for your child
Yeah.
is super important.
Oh
You
yeah.
we already know that driving to the school, you might be honking, road rage, and yelling.
Right.
It's
Right. Right.
more so now. We're in our homes, and it is so important to start it right.
That's
Make
right.
sure you prepare yourself exactly like you were
Yeah.
saying. Um, I know one thing that we can't control as much, the younger learner, is the breaks. We can't tell our child, to take a little break, but a lot of that has to come hopefully from the teacher incorporating that into their schedule,
Mm, mm,
that break.
mm.
So
You know,
hopefully, yes, there's lots of adjustments that our teachers we're kind of learning as we go. A lot of us have learned stuff from last semester,
right.
and
True.
it's helpful, and we can incorporate in this new semester. But some we're still chugging out and finding out how to adjust as we go along.
Oh
And
yeah.
one thing as a parent we do
Mm.
not want to do is let our child just kind of slip through the cracks. So stress the importance of staying on task,
Oh yeah.
being
It's true.
stay on that computer in your class on task, because there's part of the lesson that you're not going to obviously get
Mm.
because you might zone out. It's
True.
easier these days to be not only distracted but less engaged because you're just kind of looking at a screen sometimes.
Yes. You know what? I'm gonna say that's true. that's true in some ways, but just to kind of I kind of lost a thought about the kids. When you kind of set it up, you when I say the break, now I'm really talking as a special educator right now.
Ah,
The
yes.
reason why you have to give breaks is because the brain you need a little brain break. So
Yes.
when
Yes.
and I'm thinking high school also because you shift. But I think elementary, if it's set up like that on the Zoom where you have maybe uh, ELA reading English language arts for what an hour block maybe, and then
Mm-hmm.
math. So during that time, it should be set up. You do need a brain break,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and because you just do. I mean, I
Absolutely.
know that in the mornings when I'm bringing my high school students into their class, I'm playing. Well, this has been Latino Music Month, so I've
Ah,
been playing a lot of Celia Cruz and a lot of stuff, and they're coming in and they oh, we like this. So
yes.
I'm trying to get them awake, and then we get into it because you want them
Yes.
to be relaxed. You want them to get into it. It's different for each grade level and for
Yes.
each group, but what you told the truth about is when you said now as parents,
Mm-hmm.
you can have control of your
Yes.
child
Yes.
education. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
This is the time if you wanted to impart that knowledge about the motherland,
Mm-hmm.
about your African American history.
Yes.
This is the time when you're controlling that. Okay. So the tips that we have today are just saying like how your I guess how your child can thrive and be successful in the online environment, learning
Absolutely.
because they can, because you're the wonderful parent that is able to support the child with these tips,
Absolutely.
and just each day you can
Mhm.
support them to do well, because this is not new. Online learning is not new. It's new to public education, but like
Yeah.
I said, it's been around. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that public schools have had we got thrown into the mix, and
Exactly.
you had to swim, you had to learn it or else.
Exactly. Yes.
A lot of people retired last year.
Yes, it did. I have to say I'm one of those that didn't go back to the public
Right,
school.
right.
And
Yeah.
that's so I know you asked me about what is it that I'm doing with my scholars and going to be doing with my scholars.
Mhm.
And I did want to say that I am a owner of Sankofa Science.
Okay.
And we are African centered as well. We want to incorporate that cultural in the science,
Oh yeah.
and that's what I like to focus on as well. The one thing that I'm changing in my teaching, especially since the scholar is at home, is that we utilize that space uh,
Yes.
at home. So I might have a 15-minute lecture, if you will, where the content is being given to the scholars, will interact. Then I
Mm-hmm.
will have them go do something, find a creative way.
Right.
I'll give a practical example. If we're learning about the constellations, one thing I've had my students do is download. They love technology, so
Oh
we
yeah.
download an app called Sky Map. There's many different apps about the cosmos and the constellations.
Right.
So we will go do studies off of our screen and then
Mhm.
come back and share. It could be go and categorize, go to your home and do an activity in your home and then come back and present that information so that you get in that break that we're talking about as well. So I really am enjoying with my scholars the ability to take advantage of the home environment,
Oh,
since they don't have test tubes and cylinders and all that
right.
kind of stuff. You have to
Right.
be able to bring that science alive to them in their home environment as well.
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
One tip I would have, whether you're in the public school or homeschooling, and we'll speak a little bit on that a little bit later, is go in and invest. Go in and invest in some hands-on manipulatives.
Hmm.
For your child. I
Right.
often advocate all the time. Go to your local thrift stores because
Yeah.
you will find, spray a little Lysol on it. That's fine,
Uh-huh.
but go to your thrift stores and you'll begin to find a lot of hands-on educational resources that
Right.
help to bring, because we're visual, we're tactile learners, and
Yes.
the virtual games are great, but
Hmm.
sometimes especially our special populations
Yes.
and general populations, we need that tactile learning to help with that
Yes.
quite a bit. So parents, visit your thrift stores to find those hands-on resources, since we're not physically in the classroom.
Yes. That made me think of something, but I'm going to let you keep speaking, and then I'll address it later.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. That's one tip I have for parents. Um, I've noticed too. I did mention that I left public school
Right,
teaching.
right, right. Yes. Tell me,
Yes.
because I can imagine what, because I've been in public school for, hey, welcome, welcome. I've been in the public school system for many, many years. Okay,
Yes.
this is actually year 27. Okay, so I already know why. You
Hey.
bye bye, but it's something, and I'm gonna let you tell your story. For me, it's something about, and I've taught all over LA. Okay, but it's something about, I always knew it was my calling to teach in the public school. Okay, to be with those kids that, and as a special education teacher, to work with those kids that are the hardest to get to, meaning that it takes more work. I don't know why. I've just always been drawn to that. When I taught, say, general education, as they call it, I could the room would run like clockwork with
Mhm.
the eyes closed. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I already know why you left. But go ahead, tell the story. I already know
Yes.
why.
Absolutely. Well, this time around,
Yes.
I have to say what gave me the nudge, the heartstrings were pulled, is the pandemic that we're dealing with.
Right.
That gave me an extra push because my heart's desire. I'm a mother as well. I have an amazing, almost 12-year-old daughter,
Yes.
and she greetings. Yes, we have
Yes.
people that are giving us
I
shout
know.
outs.
Even
Thank
love.
you,
Thank you for
viewers.
the love.
I'm gonna give myself a brain break right quick and just mention once again, big ups, Africa Travel and More for over 1,000 subscribers, y'all.
Thank
Thumbs up, share, interact with us.
you. Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
So
yeah.
back on topic, you all.
All
So
right.
one of the reasons why I left the industry is COVID gave me that nudge, but I also am a mother. And I noticed that my daughter thrives in environments where she's able to be a little bit more creative and use her imagination and be imaginative. And
Mm-hmm.
I love public school teaching as well. But
Right.
as we all know, in different environments, there's pros and cons.
Oh
And in
yeah.
personal experience, I felt a little restricted on how and what I desire to teach, and what I personally feel, as far as science goes, is what is most important.
Right.
So I'm speaking to the parents that are also on the lines of public school, homeschool, and a lot of parents have taken their children out, because they're noticing what is being taught,
Yes.
or they're really
Mm-hmm.
reacting to COVID learning right now. So once you make those decisions, we have to set our children up for success. And
That's
what that means is we are now, as parents, we're already the first educators. But
that's
now yes,
that's
we are
right.
the first
The first
educators.
educators. You're
Absolutely.
right.
And with me leaving the public school industry, which I've gained a lot of great valuable resources and tools, I love it. But I realized that I wanted to, what I'm teaching, one, I don't always necessarily believe in. I'll give one prime example.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, we learned that Galileo was one of the first to discover the moons. You
Okay.
know,
Right.
well, if you do a lot, and that's what mainstream Christian society in Texas has told us to teach. But
Mm-hmm.
after doing more extensive research, I learned about the Dogon tribe in Mali. They were that we've never heard of in any public school when
Of
I grew
course
up.
not.
Come on. And
Not.
they were eons and ages ago, who even on in scholars from across the Ivy League schools, they have done the research as well. The Europeans have done the research
Right.
that say that they have actually seen the drawings in the caves where the Dogon African tribe in Mali
In Mali.
actually drew Jupiter's moons.
Right.
So with this knowledge, it puts me in a place of, well, okay, it doesn't fit the standard, it doesn't fit the actual curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that I desired to learn more about my African roots, about African science, and bridge that together.
Right.
And with that, I wanted to learn how to apply the science.
Right.
When when you make it more meaningful.
That's
Parents, as we grow up,
more
all that
meaningful,
stuff
more
that we
culturally appropriate. More
absolutely it
culturally
was.
appropriate. It's correct.
Absolutely.
That's where we have to go with this. Okay, go on. You keep right on. It's
Absolutely.
good.
So I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Yolandra. We have to, when we are in a position to take more leadership and control over our children's lives, we can impart that wisdom on them. And so, what I desire to do with Sankofa Science is bridge the culture with the science and make it more project based. So, when
Mhm.
we learn about the body systems, we can also learn about drinking alkaline water.
Yeah.
Why, improving our lives. When I learned this knowledge in this classroom, how am
Absolutely.
I going to use it? Why do I, Miss Allen?
Right.
I encourage my scholars to say, Miss Allen, why do I need to know this? If
Right.
you're not asking me those questions, then what are we here for? We
Right.
are going to use this knowledge to be imaginative, innovative, and creative to
Right.
create the solutions of the 21st century. So anytime you're learning, you should be sparking ideas and creating an atmosphere of the child desires to learn more
And
and
to
more.
ask questions. Questions
Absolutely.
are
And
good.
seek out, be critical thinkers to seek out
Yeah.
answers. Not
Right.
just go to Google, but go out to the ground, to the soil and learn.
Yeah.
Nature based. That's the type of um, learning I like. I like the tactile
Oh
learning, going
yes.
out in nature
That's
and
how we learn. It's how we learn hands-on. Okay.
yeah,
Right. It's how visual,
yeah,
kinesthetic. There are many. They number the intelligences that children have, but the thing is, you have to teach to those intelligence,
yeah,
and not just expect children to just regurgitate. You tell them this, and I know education has changed since I first started, but for some it hasn't.
yeah.
For some it hasn't. So I could go. I'm thinking in my mind as I'm talking that all the things that how parents need to cherish and really take hold of this time. Okay.
Yes,
um
yes.
and lead for
Mhm.
your child. Lead in
Yes.
what their learning will look like, because right now
Yes.
you can shape it. And so that's why I'm hoping that the tips are just that. They're
Yes.
from educators perspective, right?
Absolutely.
What will help the child to be successful in this online learning environment. But
Exactly.
The education, it extends beyond that. Yeah, because it's your home,
Absolutely.
like you were saying. So it's
Yes.
what is going to take place away. But go on, because I will talk, and take all of
I
your.
loved how you said that. Just wrapping up the last 2 minutes of our last conversation, make sure parents, one of the tips is make sure that we are part of the process to make the learning meaningful.
Oh yeah.
That is the educator's job, but to reinforce that, hey, at the dinner table, discuss what you learned, but also find ways to make it apply to our lives, our
Oh
everyday lives, so that can
yeah.
spark their creativity. Those old cell phones, allow them to do a little research and safely take them apart, see
Ooh.
what's in there.
You
You
know,
know,
I'm
that
sorry.
broken fan, that
Yes.
fan that is sitting in your garage,
Mhm.
ask your pawpaw, ask Uncle
Right. That's
Jojo
right.
to use a screwdriver to take it apart and just be curious.
Oh
What does
yeah.
it do? There's simple machines in there. There's each energy transformations in there. There's a lot. Just go out and look at the things around you to see
Yeah.
how you can incorporate the learning that we're doing. Absolutely.
I see a
Yeah.
statement, and I'm kind of slow to putting it up, that unapologetically me says, I feel like public schools think that every child can and should be taught the same way. And I disagree
Oh,
1000%. No, I agree with you. As a public school
mm,
educator, as a education specialist, is what they call us now. I agree. That's part of the problem. But
right.
this is why now we're, telling these tips so that parents, you kind of see because it's in your home now. So you can see, it's like, oh, is this what, I'm not down on my public educators because we work hard.
Yes, yes.
Honey, we work hard. Now, I can speak for me and those colleagues that I work with work extremely hard. And there are a lot of extremely good educators in public schools. But there is this overlying thought, or that we all know all children don't learn the same. They can't, you just can't say this is the manual. This is how we all should sit in our
Mhm.
seat to learn. No, because especially for some children are more, they got to move around,
Exactly. Exactly.
so it's different. All kids don't learn the same. So I agree with you. I don't see anything wrong with that statement. That's right on point with my thought that the kids,
I yes.
they're not going to all
No, not at all.
learn the
And
same.
I think as educators, you can't get around that. We are teaching in a system that has to standardize certain things at certain point because we have a classroom, let's say if you're lucky, 17. Sometimes it's
Well,
25 or
in high
more.
school it's
And
almost 35.
right? Oh my goodness.
Because
And so you have to form some kind of standard so that there is you get to the end of your goal, your lesson objective. If you're trying to teach in 10 different ways, it's just impossible to do that in the system that we as public school educators are teaching in. So the public education system is set up in that way, and there is going to be some failures, I have to say, and some disparities because of that. They're the children left behind,
yeah.
not as engaged, even though the educators work so hard.
Oh
That's
yeah.
where, if your child is still in, that's where the parent has to come in and be an advocate. It is what it is in the public school. Be the advocate for them in there and support them as well. Um, I did, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
thank you. It's all good. Your point was well taken.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
I agree with it. Because it's like this. You know what, as a special education teacher, we teach to the individual. Okay. That's what makes it so hard. That
Yes.
for me, because I can't just do for this child what that, because so you kind of, it's kind of what you're saying. So you have to design lessons that incorporate all or most of the intelligences or that touch with those kids that you're with, or it just falls by the wayside. You know, you've seen it. And now you will
Absolutely.
really see it in the Zoom classroom, because a
Absolutely.
lot of the kids, they're, just, and their cameras are off because they don't have to they don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something else. But let me see, it was another one to read another. I'm kind of slow with putting up oh no, I put that one up. Okay.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I love what you're saying. So the Sankofa Science, how can people get in contact for these lessons?
Yes.
I
So
think I want to take a lesson. And I'm
absolutely.
not kidding. You know what? I'm taking tree. I'm
I,
learning to tree. Yes.
I
So
love it. Soon
I have
come, I'm gonna be with you,
all right.
learning with you, and I hope to get my scholars. So I
Yeah.
did want to share a little bit about Sankofa
Yes,
science
please.
because it is one way. I'm a part of a group of parents that did decide to take out their child out of the public school system.
Okay.
Some temporarily, some, hey, look, I'm done, and I understand some of the reasons why. Real quick, one more tip that I wanted to interject.
Please.
In online learning, there are going to be some gaps. So parents, make sure you get those books, seek out a tutor, whether it's with their teacher or spend a little extra few dollars. I
Right.
encourage you guys to put your monies together because you are going to have to invest more in your child.
Right.
I had to talk with the parent who called me last couple of days ago. We're setting
Mhm.
up tutoring because they did take their child out of the school and they are doing online learning. So this is some of the issues that we're coming across. There
Mhm.
are great curriculums out there that are e-learning.
Right.
Um, However, it's pre-recorded. So they're just watching a video. Maybe they do a little hands-on and they do a worksheet, but there's
Mhm.
not that interaction with the teacher. So they're
Oh,
questions. It's because it's pre-recorded. So
right.
I had to tell the parent that this is a great curriculum, but it may not be fitting with your child.
Right. Mm.
Another tip, get those resources, get a tutor for your child, invest that money because now is the time. We can't
Right.
skip, cut those corners as parents. Another
Right.
tip is to now learn, don't be offended, mamas and daddies, Ias and babas. Learn
Right.
your child more. That's another tip. What I
Yeah.
mean by this, have you ever said, yeah, my daughter is real good at
Yes.
taking them apart and putting them back together, or
Right.
my nephew is a great artist. So once we begin to see their gifts, keep nurturing their gifts.
Yes.
Because a lot
Yeah.
of the time, us educators in the public school, we may see that and do our best to nurture it when we can. But as
Right.
a mom, as a dad, we are the first teachers
We are.
and nurture their gifts
Hmm. It's true.
so
It's very
that, let's
true.
say, your child kind of knows what they're going to do as an adult. Because we have a lot of adults that are walking around not living out their purpose, not utilizing their gifts. So let's take this time now, parents, and nurture our children's gifts and bring out that greatness. All right.
Yeah.
So how can we bring out that greatness?
Yes.
Sankofa Science. You
Yes.
guys, I have a website,
Mhm.
sankofascience.com.
Mhm.
I have a Facebook page that I just updated as well.
Right.
You can email me. I do believe that the information is in the description as well. I am homeschooling my daughter, but I'm gearing up to open enrollment for other scholars to do safe face to face. I'm partnering with another than my dear mother. She's a retired English language arts teacher. We're,
Yes.
we're joining forces, and we are
Nice.
going to providing solutions, getting an environment that's safe, small, to do some face-to-face and virtual learning. And it's going to be customized and catered to utilize your child's gifts to bring about an impact in their lives, their families, their community. Being creative, in product in mind,
Mhm.
whether it's a book that they've written or a new
Mhm.
product to serve to solve a problem. But there is always an end goal, not just a test, but an actual innovative type of product or service. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Check us
Yeah.
out.
That's what's going to take. It's going to take that now. Creativity and investing,
Yes.
and also the reason why I just got inspired to connect with you and to put this together for parents, because I felt that there was a need that parents, some were just feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to give tips, but not tips to replace, say, what it's to kind of marry with what they're doing, right? Not to
Absolutely.
override, because I
Absolutely.
am from the school of thought that says and believes that parents are the first
Yeah.
teachers.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so with that, that's why I felt it was important to bring you on, share about Sankofa science, and then just to tap between us, to just kind of tap into that knowledge we have to share. So
Yeah.
parents would say, oh, okay, these are some other resources. And so that I've placed the information about her science program in my description links, and I've also placed the tips in full in the description links. So, and plus the resources, I placed like over 20 plus resources
Wow.
of
Wow.
different websites, that math, English language arts, coding, uh,
Oh,
things like that, because who knows, it hopefully, I hope that it will be a blessing and that it'll help someone with their child, because right now we need more people reaching out, doing things that support each other, and providing, say, knowledge. If have something that can just, and encouragement. Right now, parents
yes.
parents
Yes.
need encouragement, teachers do also, but our parents need that encouragement, and because
Yeah.
that's what I spent last night connecting with my parents during conference. That it's a joy having your child. Usually I'm used to saying it's a joy having your child in class.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
joy having your child on the Zoom link. We
Yes.
just have to think of it's a shift. It's a shift. And the mindset had to be ready to like shift in this new way of learning, right?
Yes.
New way of teaching. Just think, a lot of the colleagues, some said bye bye, and they
Mhm.
just said, I'm done. So it's like,
Mhm.
I just can't. But
Yeah.
I'm still hanging with it. I'm still joyful to
Yes.
work with children,
Yeah.
to be in the classroom. I miss being in the classroom. I I'm thankful and I'm proud that I've mastered, I guess, teaching through Zoom. Um, I don't know. I'm happy that you are partnering with your mom to do English language arts, because I think this one thing, and then we're gonna wrap it up with last thought. Parents, if you have your child to read
Oh,
something that
yes.
they like, something that they like, because
Mhm.
I always tell my parent, what good is it to put a book in front of them that you just like? See what they like to
Mhm.
read, even if it's a comic book. Read, say,
True.
15 to 30 minutes per. day. Okay, that's not a lot, but that the reading that'll help because you
Yes.
need to read each day.
Mhm.
But and I say something that you like to read because it's gonna be of interest. And things that we like, we do. Things that we
Mhm.
don't like, we tend to not tend to not do it. Right.
True.
So yeah, but last thoughts before and last thoughts from people watching too before we wrap it up.
Uh, let's just do what we can to keep, like you said, our spirits uplifted.
Yes.
Start every day as positive as possible. Let's, especially as parents, wake
Mhm.
up a few extra minutes early so that we can ease into the day. 10,
Yes.
15 minutes does wonders.
It does.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. We're in this together. Reach out to your village. All
Yeah.
right. Reach out to your village.
That's
Um,
what we are. We're a village.
absolutely. When you're feeling a little overwhelmed,
Mm-hmm.
seek your higher power, but seek out your village. And there are ways, there's solutions out there. I give thanks for this opportunity to be invited to learn, to share with you all. Africa Travel and More. Yolandra, thank you.
Yes, I know. Thank you. I know it's so strange. And I invite people that are on now, if you're not already subscribed, to go ahead and subscribe. Usually I do a lot of I'm starting to do more interview type with people of interest because that's the more part of the African travel and more. But traveling, yes, traveling to the motherland is my passion.
Yes.
I just share it with everyone. I mean, as you said,
Yeah.
I will do this for free, right? To
Yeah.
share about the beauty of Mother Africa. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, like I say, each week I do either a live stream or I do a video, and I have some videos that are in the works that are coming up um, that I'll be sharing soon. But I just thank everyone, for joining and participating, and I just hope and pray that it's blessed
Yes.
someone, and then you can be a part of this village. And I'll just have to see from time to time if I need to do more on tips in education, because that is my day job.
Mhm.
And I'm quite happy with doing it and quite happy with sharing. But I thank you, Cassandra, for sharing Sankofa Science. I hope that that you have people who will join your village, okay,
Yes.
and will take part in this fantastic opportunity
Much.
because you are gifted with science. Oh yeah, and
Much.
yes, yes. So if they join, their child will be in for a treat. Visit the website, okay, Sankofa Science. Check it out. Make sure that you have a YouTube also of Sankofa.
I
Yes,
do indeed. Yes.
yes. Go check out that also. And you just get on it just a little at a time, putting those out. That's what I did in the
Yes.
pandemic.
Yes.
Um, it's always been my thank you. It's always been my passion to share with people
Yes.
about African travel. And so I said, well, I'm going to do a YouTube. And I was so afraid at first to do it. But I said, you know what? I just love Africa so much.
Yes.
And I know just going there was so healing that I want to share this with the world. And I want people to
Yes.
know
Yes.
the true beauty of Africa, to be a part of rewriting the narrative, right? But
True.
that's a different topic, and we're gonna head on out, okay? But
Yes.
thank you. God bless everyone, and have a wonderful weekend. And reach out to me if you have questions, especially on maybe some issues I didn't touch on. Reach out to me, and I will share or reach out and Either one of us will. So until next time, be blessed. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much. Bye.
Peace and bless.
Yeah, I know. Peace and bless, huh?
Yeah.
Like I have to